I was babysat by La Stupenda. It's a good day. It's actually quite funny because I had no idea who she was at the time, but when I was 8 and my dad was singing in Sydney and Bonning was conducting, so Joan Sutherland was there with him. And my parents, it was their anniversary, so Joan said, I'll take Lauren for the day and you guys, have a nice anniversary day. And I just remember thinking, oh my god, who is this giant woman? But she was the sweetest person ever, and I realize that now. And now I think back on it, and I'm like, oh my god, so wasted on my 8-year-old self. It was like this strange thing of a parent coming home from their workday at, midnight instead of 5 p.m. And I'd also always remember waking up to my mom practicing. So that was my alarm clock every morning. So it was a very nice alarm clock, viola, pretty nice. Surprisingly early. I even remember being in my crib, which most people don't, I hear. But I just remember hearing his voice in the house, warming up. I would always have trouble separating him as my father and then him on stage. So I remember a time when, I think I was 10. So I'd already seen Tosca, and I flipped out when he was killed at the end. Like, flipped out to the point that my mum had to take me out of the theater because I was screaming and trying to run to the stage. He didn't do a contract that we didn't come to. Very rarely. So it was good because then a lot of the time he was singing in Europe, so he couldn't come back in between shows, so we would come to him. At the time, of course, I was young and I just missed my father. It actually helped to solidify the relationship that I have with my parents and to solidify their relationship, because I feel, you don't know what you have until it's gone. And I think my dad being away forced my parents to talk on the phone every single day for, an hour, and I think a lot of households, they don't talk that much when they're under the same roof. What I found really is that the ones that everybody emulates, the ones that everybody really respects above all others, are the ones that are the most human. They're just people at the end of the day. That's the fact of the matter. You can gloss them up and all of that, but they're just human beings doing their jobs with families and relationships and, trying to make it all work. Well, I think that the only lens that I now have when I look at opera is such respect for everyone that's not on stage. The stage managers, the dressers, the makeup artists, lighting. I've learned to really, I'm not very hard on singers. Living with a singer who had so much pressure on him his whole life, and he's just a guy at the end of the day, but he has this role to play, and sometimes you have a good night, sometimes you have a bad night. It's the human voice. It's not perfect. How can we ever possibly criticize someone for not being perfect, for being human? There's kind of a stigma to who I am, even though I'm no one. I'm just, I'm starting out. I don't have a leg up. I may know people, but if I don't have the goods, I don't have the goods. But then also, I have been able to see amazing things. I do know amazing people that I can call friends, and it's a blessing and a curse, I'd say, at the end of the day, about 50-50. In order to validate myself, I had to make a name for myself in some other genre. One where, when you say Richard Margison, they go, who? So that was the only way for me early on to really be able to accept that maybe I have something. They would love it. They would be so happy. If I was a doctor, oh my, that would just be wonderful. No, but the thing is, they're fantastic. Truly, better than so many, I think, just because they let me choose, no matter what it was.